I'm doing a quick video about what happened, and not gonna go too much into the recovery, just like kind of what led up to me being here at Moab 4x4. We were out on Golden Spike, and one of our Jeeps rolled, and so we spent about 2 hours. Luckily, he wasn't hurt. It destroyed the passenger side corner of the passenger door, so this whole part got crushed, so the window got busted out. So we chopped the windshield out, winched him back over, and then used the winch in a tree to straighten out the windshield enough that he was able to drive it out. While that was happening, another Jeep in the group lost their four-wheel drive, so I started towing him up obstacles. And as we were going, the PSC, and I'd had this problem in Colorado. I had to have the high steer track bar bracket re-welded a couple of times there in Colorado. I'm gonna share the kid's info that did that. Just he did a really outstanding job. But my guess is if the hydro was hooked to the front gear on the PSC bracket, was just pulling on this too much because I don't think it's set up correctly, and so that bracket just completely ripped off. So we ended up taking the bracket off. But it started raining, and it was nighttime, and it's probably about 11 o'clock when it started raining. So we sheltered in place. So we spent the night there, right at the beginning of Gold Bar Trail, and I just chalked the wheels, and we slept in the truck. There were 3 Jeeps by then. The other group took the rolled Jeep, and they kept going. They made it off the trail about 4:15. Well, they made it back at 4:15 a.m. I think they did the Rusty Nail, which is one of the harder trails. So they went through it at nighttime, which is admirable, especially in the rain with a Jeep with no windshield or roof. So, but they made it out. We sheltered in place, got up at 6. I didn't have the caps for the PSC, so I basically tried to hook the output line to the input line, basically as a closed loop. And I don't know what happened, but I dropped all of my power steering fluid, so I had no steering going up the obstacles. And so I would get up on something and then have to get out and hook the tow rope to the Jeep that had no four-wheel drive, and we ended up pulling him up the obstacles. And then yesterday I contacted somebody to help me get out, because you get to that point. First thing that happened was where I stopped was that my driver tire had turned into my reservoir all the way, and it was gouging my tire. So at that point we stopped. That was right after the waterfall obstacle, which I don't know if you've watched the trail videos, but that's one that's got a winch point on the top. It's like probably like a 4-foot shelf that you winch forward, and then you have to stay straight across the obstacle. And so I winched up, and then I hooked to another Jeep and pulled the Jeep over straight, and then we were able to get it through that obstacle around a couple more curves until we got up to the top of Gold Bar there, and that's where the wheel had turned into the reservoir. It didn't damage the reservoir, but it did tear this bracket. So yeah. And then yesterday, I went back up with local recovery service, and they helped me get it down the trail. That was a whole nother thing that I'll probably talk about later once I get it worked out with them. But it was definitely an adventure, and nothing was bad. I mean, sleeping on the mountain wasn't bad. We ran out of water, so we were drinking the cooler water, which it could have been worse. But we did make it off the trail. I left the Jeep overnight. I was really worried about it, but when we got back to it, it was intact. Nobody attempted to open or mess with the bed, but I talked to somebody here, and they said that that's common. That the trails, people typically respect other people's stuff, so that kind of set my mind at ease a little bit. But nothing sets my mind at ease as much as seeing that it was still there. So I drove it down. It's not good. The track car has already started separating again from when we welded it on the trail. This rubber grommet is a rubber piece from a leaf spring setup that we were able to get in there, because the way that we had rigged the track bar coming down, it destroyed the bushing in there. So we had to build another bushing on the mountain. So yeah, that's where we're at. I tried to call a tow company here. Tried to use AAA, and they told me that the company said that they didn't have the equipment to tow it, which, because it's on 37s, I guess that's a loophole for AAA and a loophole for the company here, to where they won't accept AAA, that you have to pay them directly for it. So I called another company here. I will put that link below as well, because they were really good to me. The kid Preston that came and picked it up, super nice about it, and he recommended this Moab 4x4. I guess they're a kind of a newer shop in town, but it was literally like, that's our condo over there, and the Moab 4x4 was here, so it was closer, so it was a short tow over here. I probably could have driven it, but on the way back down the hill yesterday, I was getting speed wobbles, and it was getting a little bit crazy, so I didn't want to take a chance with it. Other than that, the Jeep did fantastic. Like, I didn't bottom out. I don't think I touched my skid plates. These rock crawler shocks are incredible. Sway lock did amazing. I found that on the dirt parts, or the sand parts, I was able to engage through the air system. I was able to engage the sway bars, and then when we were off road, I was able to boost in them to where we were able to crawl, and everything articulated good. I did a trail. Well, the first day, I guess the wheels, because of the side-to-side shift, even though I had tested it on the ramp, I hit my reservoir, knocked it off, so we ended up wiring that, cable tying that up so I could get off the trail that day. And then that evening, I went to our friend's hotel where there was shade, because it's like 109 degrees out here, and cut these big holes in the bed so I could put the reservoirs on the inside. I thought about doing that before, but when I tested it on the ramp, I wasn't dragging the reservoirs. But this was the eventual plan for it anyway, was to get them completely out of the way of the sway lock and the sway bars. So before, I had them mounted on the outside here, because this sway bar is so owned, where I would have put them normally, then it would have hit them. So I moved them to the outside, tested on the ramp, and that didn't work out so great. So now they're in the bed, which I think is a better place. what I'll do is when we get back to town, I'll probably cut some pieces of steel or aluminum, and then just cut out for the hoses, and then screw those into the sods there. Um, don't know exactly what I'll do, but I mean it's really clean now. Like I said, I didn't have any problems getting or anything. Eventually, I'll probably put some liners in here, something that's like a 3-piece to where I can cut around the hose to get it installed. Oh, see what else. Like I said, the rock crawler shocks are just like everything that I hoped they would need. The truck just did incredible. It's the best it's ever been. There were a few bugs, like I said, the reservoirs. I think that, I don't know for sure, but I think that the PSC was set up wrong, and so it was putting extra strain on that bracket, the hydro. But the hydro did great. You know, I was always in control. Like when I lost power steering, I couldn't steer it because the steering box PSC as well. But in between, I had a little bit of steering, and I had to really put all of my force into getting it around corners and stuff. And pretty much I just kept driving straight anywhere that I could over, you know, obstacles at weird angles and stuff, and never felt like it was unstable or unsafe. So I'm really excited to get it fixed and get back on the trail, because it's such a fun, it's so much more fun now than it was before with just the Fox 2.0s and the springs and stuff. Let's see. I guess that's it. I just wanted to give you an update on where we are. We're in Moab, Utah, and we had a few things happen, but everybody is safe, and hopefully this Moab 4x4, he tried to just build a full custom bracket for the sway bar, the PSC, and the track bar. I'll probably end up with a different track bar unless they have a bushing for it. This is our last, we're supposed to check out tomorrow and we're gonna head back, so I'm not sure how that's gonna go. But Chris here at Moab 4x4 said that he would work overnight on it, and then worst case scenario, if he still needed to do some work on it, that he would work on it tomorrow. So yeah, the front long arms, rock crawler, front coilovers, rock crawler, all of that stuff. I'm really grateful that it has this great product. So anyhow, I will give you another update after we get it fixed, kind of show you what we did to figure out, get everything fixed up, and then hopefully the next update you will get from me is me arriving home. So yeah, want to see how we do, or you want to see, like I said, I've got all of the install videos for everything. Once I get back, I'll be able to edit those. You've got just a lot of the video that I shot on the trail. I haven't been able to post yet, but I posted a few. I'm gonna check those out. But like and subscribe, and you see what happens next. But yeah, thanks for watching.